I'm not gonna lie, that song still gets me pumped up every time I hear it. Now let's talk about the Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot starring Megan Fox. The plot in this new rebooted Ninja Turtles movie is essentially the same plot that was in the first two movies. April O'Neil and the Ninja Turtles team up together to take down the Shredder. That's the overall plot to this movie. Shit happens, it doesn't really matter. And along the way there's like a little subplot there, but it's so incomprehensibly bad that you don't even care about it. Now I think it's safe to say when we all got our first look at these rebooted Ninja Turtles, we all felt a little bit shell-shocked. Huh? Yeah, you see what I did there? Okay, let's keep going. Because in those previous installments of Ninja Turtles movies that came out in the 1990s, you had real practical suits. You had stuntmen in suits doing flips, they had real shells on their backs, real nunchucks in their hands, and there's just something about real life practicality that just adds to a movie. And let's keep in mind, that first Ninja Turtles movie came out almost 25 years ago, and those suits, even by today's standards, they still look pretty damn good. But in this new incarnation of the Ninja Turtles, we get 6.5 foot tall CGI Ninja Turtles. And to be completely honest with you, I actually don't mind the look of the new Ninja Turtles. I buy into it, because if you're going to reboot the Ninja Turtles, I love the previous incarnations of them, but why not make them look like big muscle-bound badasses? I mean, yeah, so what if the new Ninja Turtles look like bodybuilder Ronnie Coleman but painted green? So as far as the overall look of the Ninja Turtles go, I don't really mind it. My only complaint is with the execution. The CG turtles in this movie at times look pretty decent, but at other times they just look like complete ass. Yeah, there's times throughout the movie where they look like a PS2 video game graphic, and what they try to do to hide that is they added some like lens flare and shaky cam. Yeah, they just looked a little bit off at times, but other times they looked really good. And speaking of looking really good, you have Megan Fox, who plays April O'Neil. And would she be my first casting choice? No, I'd probably cast someone like Anna Kendrick. I think she'd make a great April O'Neil. And the thing about Megan Fox is, well, she can't act. She literally brings no substance to the character of April O'Neil. No humanity whatsoever. And the reason that's so important is because you have these CG characters, the Ninja Turtles, and you need a good human character there to bring substance and humanity to blend it all together. Now this new Ninja Turtles movie is a Michael Bay produced movie. Michael Bay did not direct this movie. This movie does look like a Michael Bay movie, but just kind of like a half-assed cheaper version of a Michael Bay movie. Because in all fairness, Michael Bay movies can look expensive, and at times they look well done. Even though artistically not well done, it still looks on a technical aspect well done. This movie looks like it tries to do things like that, but just couldn't quite reach that level. And then we have the badass villain of the movie, Shredder, the Ninja Turtles' arch nemesis. And the new version of Shredder in this movie has a mech suit, and it kind of looks a little bit reminiscent to another Michael Bay character named Megatron. And on a side note, every time I was watching the Ninja Turtles go up against Shredder in this movie, I couldn't help but think about Secret of the Ooze. Remember at the end of the movie you had Super Shredder? Yeah, it was a jacked up, buffed out version of Shredder. I couldn't help but think that that version of Shredder actually would go well in this movie. Yeah, think about it. Buff Turtles, buff Super Shredder, it just makes sense. And every time he's in his mech suit fighting the Turtles, he moves really quick and fast, and it's kind of neat to watch. Now let's very quickly talk about Splinter in this movie. Yeah, it was atrocious looking. Now there's a scene in this movie where you have Megan Fox sitting down in front of Master Splinter and they're talking. And this scene is so cringeworthy, not because Megan Fox's terrible acting, but because the terrible CG elements on Master Splinter. But in all fairness, I can let things like that go. If you give me a good script that's immersive and cool action scenes, I can kind of overlook some of the lackluster CG elements. But the script for this movie is not very good. I mean, sure, there's a couple really cool scenes involving the Ninja Turtles, but overall, this is a very forgettable and bland movie, and there was so much they could have done, but it's almost like, at times they're like, yeah, we could do that, but we're not going to. And all the human characters in this movie are very one-dimensional, very flat. There's just really no substance or purpose to anyone in this movie. Now on a positive note, I am happy to say I enjoyed the representation of the Ninja Turtles in this movie. They did a good job in this movie of individualizing each turtle. Each one had his own personality. I think the actor that they got to play Michelangelo in this movie did a phenomenal job, especially with the voice acting, the mannerisms, and Michelangelo stole probably 99% of the scenes with the Ninja Turtles. He was the funniest one. He's a little bit creepy and a little bit perverted at times, but you know what? If I was a Ninja Turtle and I was hanging out with Megan Fox all day, I'd probably do the same shit. And speaking of the Ninja Turtles, I still think it would have been really cool to have Corey Feldman come back and voice Donatello once again. Hey, you guys! That's my Corey Feldman impression. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm going to give this movie a C. The movie's just very unmemorable. It felt like the movie was rushed at times. It feels a little bit messy and choppy, and just everything about the movie is forgettable, and it could have been done better than it was. So guys, that's my take on the new Ninja Turtles movie. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions down below, and if you haven't already, make sure you check out my last video where I review Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.